team like Kyrie and KD, or the Lake Show with King James and AD. Wish I could match him up with the bad boys from the 80s, but no black and white, I need that in HD. HenDawgz.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy HenDawgz, and we back to it. You know how we do it. My last video of the night. I think I done been reacting to maybe like 11, 12 videos a day, so I'm tired, hungry, but hey, the grind don't stop. I was just reacting to a video of the professor, and he said that he was editing a video at 4 a.m. It was like, he said it was like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. And he had to be up the next morning to go film a movie that he was in. So the grind don't stop, man. This YouTube shit, like, this is my job at the end of the day. So we're gonna work harder than everybody so that we can get to a place that we ain't never been before. So let's get into it. And I have to say this: subscribe to the channel for me, man. I would definitely appreciate it. I would appreciate it more than you would know if you would subscribe to the channel, like this video. If you like this video, and go ahead and write something in the comments. But yeah. Let's talk about Charles Barkley. You know, it's like NBA legends explain why Charles Barkley was better than everyone. He was a monster, man. They said the one thing about Charles Barkley that made him so tough was when you put somebody that's, you know, bigger than him on him, he was too fast. And when you put somebody that was smaller than him, he was too strong. Like, that's a recipe for disaster for defensive players. But let's get into this video, man. I don't want to do too much talking. We got NBA legends explain why Charles Barkley was better than everyone. Let's get it. Hey!
Hey guys, this is Dominic Wilkins.
What's up, Dominic?
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is
What up, GP?
What's up? This is Vince Carter here. Hey, what's up? This is
man,
Matt Ballers. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am,
trying to kiss
make
shot?
sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Cole. Let's get to it.
Hey guys, good day to y'all. My name is Sean David. Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. I would say it's time to check out some old school NBA basketball. In today's episode, I want to take a look at NBA legends giving their opinion about how great Sir Charles Barkley was.
Sir
And
Charles.
I found some clips that you probably haven't seen before, so let's see how it goes. But before we dive into today's episode, let me ask you guys for a small favor. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the show and also like the video if you enjoy the content. Alright, enough said, let's get right into it. Now the first players that we're going to take a look at are basically colleagues of Charles, so Shaq, Kenny Smith, and Greg Anthony. Let's have a look.
Greg,
I'm
who?
a bad dog.
That ain't how you say my name.
Charles Barkley, the round mound of rebound. What made Charles so great is because you always hear the term size doesn't matter. And for Charles Barkley, size did not matter. You know, as a center is always 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot. Power forward is always 6'8", 6'9", 6'10". Not Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was a solid 6'4". And he didn't care if you were taller, if you were bigger, if you were faster, if you were stronger. He was going to go through it. And nothing could stop this man. And, you know, a guy that played with that tenacity, with that speed, with that force, plus the mentality that he had of not caring. You could tell by some of his interviews, he was going to be hard to stop.
Money doesn't matter. Endorsements don't matter. One thing matters: winning.
Chuck was just different, man. Like, you know, he's small, but man, the things he could do on the floor, you know, most guys have the physical tools and the look that goes with that. But Chuck, he didn't have that. But there was just nobody better at creating space to get to their spots. And then he just had a complete game. He's a great passer. I don't think he gets enough credit for how good a passer he was.
Would y'all say that he kind of like reminds y'all of Zion in a way? Because Zion is not that tall. I think he's like 6'5", 6'6", super dominant. I don't know how athletic Charles Barkley was compared to Zion. I know he was athletic, But Zion is a whole nother freak of nature. But Charles Barkley was crazy athletic too, though. I don't want to act like he wasn't athletic, because I know some people in the comments like, bro, you tripping. Charles Barkley was crazy athletic. Like, I know that. I just don't think he's more athletic than Zion. But I feel like that might be his best comparison. It's always kind of fun to compare. Like, you never find nobody that's like perfectly comparable. But to me, I think Zion might be the closest. But let me know. Let me know if y'all think it's somebody closer, if Zion is a good comparable person.
And you talk about that kill gene, where when it was time, that guy delivered more often than not. And I always admired Chuck too, because I just never felt like anybody had more fun playing a game than Charles Barkley.
Now the next player's opinion that we're going to take a look at is from Hersey Hawkins. Hawkins obviously played with Sir Charles Barkley when he was still playing for the Philadelphia 76ers. Let's have a look.
This chapter of your life starts. You go to the Sixers and you get paired with Charles Barkley. Talk a little bit about what it meant playing with him, scoring side by side with him. I mean, you guys were kind of the 1-2 punch there on a pretty solid team for those of you that don't remember. Talk a little bit about that if you could.
Yeah, Charles was interesting.
Interesting. And he stuttered.
Really a dear friend of mine still today. Charles was the kind of player that, he just exude confidence. He knew he was a good player, and he demonstrated that every night.
Barkley was a dominant player.
King.
Dominant in the post area. He was one of the best and most talented players that's ever played the game of basketball in this history.
One of the great power forwards, particularly at his size, of all time. I mean, just dominating, physical, athletic, mentality. He was a joy to watch. I mean, we loved Barkley. I wasn't a big Sixers fan, but our man Barkley.
I wasn't a big Sixers.
You watched him like you knew it was going to be elite, high-level, explosive basketball. And then he became this incredible personality and a television star, media darling, and to the point now where I think if you're not old enough, you don't really understand or appreciate just how good he was as a player.
That's facts. Because something I've said in one of my other videos was, only thing when I think of Charles Barkley, I just think of him in a suit on TNT, just saying a bunch of random, gibberish stuff that's don't even make sense sometimes. Like, some stuff he say is cool, and some stuff be off the wall crazy, but if I had that mindset that this guy is a Hall of Fame power forward that used to destroy people, I probably would listen to him differently. But I don't know. I guess that's just my me being 29 years old and not actually being able to watch him. But they say he was a killer, man. They say he was a baller, and even the way he talked now on TV, he used to talk back then. He was just playing while he was talking crazy.
As entertaining, as a successful,
intersection.
As famous as he is as a broadcaster, he was the same thing, the same level as a basketball player, one of the best ever. I don't even know if you appreciate from watching old footage. You had to just lace him up, go bump with him, see it for yourself. Yeah, this guy right here was incredible.
Charles had this, magnetism about him, and
magnetism?
He was very confident. Who wouldn't want to play with a guy like Charles?
What's magnetism?
He wasn't going to lose. I mean, he would take everybody on his back and say, "I'm going to get you the promised land."
Barkley is Barkley. I don't think he's 6'3". He was just one of those rare players that size didn't matter. It was just determination.
Rebound Barkley. He battles. He shoots. He scores. Sir Charles.
I mean, he would take on Goliath. I mean, he was just had that bravado about him. So Charles, he was unbelievable what he accomplished for his size.
And the next clip that we're going to take a look at is actually a pretty new one. It is from Isaiah Thomas, and he has some pretty interesting things to say about Sir Charles Barkley.
Barkley was known as the round mound of rebounds.
Oh, yes.
What did you think the first time you saw him?
That he was a round mound. I mean, really, the first time I saw him, it was actually on tape, the night that, Philly drafted him. And he was joining Moses Malone, Dr. J, Mo Cheeks, Andrew Toney. So he was joining a squad.
A good team.
And when they actually showed his picture, I was like, okay, well, you know, Philly may have made a mistake, you know, because, you know, he was overweight, you know, he was just, you know, the round mound, you know, and then when we played against him, it was like he came down and was taking it behind his back, snatching it off the board, dribbling full court, and then that fool jumped. I mean, but when he jumped, it was like, wait a minute. Like you really have to like squish your eyes because
No, for real, he definitely is way more athletic than I thought. Like I kind of always just thought Charles Barkley was this real tough, you know, get in your face and overpower you type player. But watching these highlights, man, he was crazy athletic. Like to be that big, like not tall, but just be that big. Like it's kind of like Zion. Like he's a lot more athletic than you look. Like that's kind of what I get from both of them.
You hadn't seen anybody like this size move like that.
Miller underneath, off the backboard. Oh,
Game time.
and the Suns win it. Charles
Game time.
Barkley.
I had a real game plan against Chuck, trying to make him shoot that little fadeaway jump shot. If I could get him to turn and just fade away and get a hand up, use my length, because he was just a guy that had a great gift and a great motor for going to the offensive glass, and ended up being the MVP when he was down in Phoenix, get to the finals, and just got better and better and better. We had a lot of good battles through our careers.
Charles Barkley is probably one of the greatest power forwards of all time for sure, because of the skill set. He was still able to dominate inside the paint. His rebounding is second to none. I mean, this guy was just a beast on the boards. To be only 6'7" or so and be able to snag 20 rebounds, and you know, on a nightly basis, seemed like it was incredible.
Charles was a different kind of competitor. He wanted to destroy you. I mean, he was a fun guy and he's super off the floor, a great guy to be around, but such a competitor on the floor, and there was nothing that he couldn't do on the basketball court.
Here's the lob for Barkley. Goes
Hey.
up the jam.
He dunked like he's 6'8".
For Sir Charles.
He could get on the roll when the team's down, and he could create a 10-0 run by himself.
And we knew we had a superstar. And not only a superstar, we had a person who could sway the officials one way or the other.
That's a good thing to have.
By his physicality, and that was unheard of besides Karl Malone in the Western Conference.
He was so genuine. He'd give you the shirt off his back. Great teammate. Cared about winning more than anybody I've ever played with as far as when the game started. Hated to practice. Was the worst practice player in the world.
Worst practice.
He was the best basketball player I'd ever played with. I'm not saying he's the best basketball player ever, but the one I played with, he was the best basketball player I'd ever played with.
And I would have to really think long and hard to think of any player that played an entire season that year or any other year with more determination to win than Charles Barkley.
Barkley dish off to Sabatos, back to Barkley, and a nice give and go. Barkley goes in for the chain.
He'd always believed in himself, but I think that for him to win the MVP over Michael Jordan is something that legitimized his career in a way that probably more so than anything else.
Now, if you follow my show on a regular basis, then you know that I covered plenty of videos about Sir Charles Barkley. And there is actually a pretty good reason for it. I have the feeling that especially with the younger generation, they only know him from NBA TV, and because of the fact that he's cracking jokes and he's so hilarious and stuff, it often gets overlooked what a great and sensational player he really was. To me, Sir Charles Barkley has a legit case of being in the top 3 power forwards of all time. Alright, you guys, that was it for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed the content. Don't forget to...
Great video again. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Where does Charles Barkley rank as far as power forwards of all time? And overall players. Is he a top 50 player, top 25 player? Like, let me know. But I appreciate y'all for watching this video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't already. Make sure y'all like this video if y'all like this video. And go ahead and write something in the comments, man. But I appreciate y'all like always. We out.